What is up, guys? My name is Sparky Midori, otherwise known as the Prince of Darkus, and just as my name would suggest, I love, Feral, Darkus Bakugan. That is why today I have 44 Bakugan in my Darkus collection to show you, plus one honorable mention. I already saw my Feral, but you'll see him later. This is my favorite Darkus Bakugan purely because if I was in the anime or video game or whatever, I feel like a Darkus Feral would definitely be my partner, with royalty and Prince of Darkus being my name. It just goes hand in hand with the royal Egyptian theme. Anyway, without delaying this any further because I wanted to do this for weeks, let's get on to the collection. Okay, 44 Bakugan, we got a lot to get through today, so let's just get off starting. As we did with all the other videos, we're going to be going upwards in B power, so starting at 100 all the way up to however high the figure gets. We're going to start here with the only Darkus Bakugan I have with 100 Bs. That is Darkus Auxilitar Core. I got this from Haru Ren, purely because I don't have an Auxilitar until now. Okay, now we got quite a few 200B Bakugan. The first one being Kubo. This is also a Bakugan that I got from Haru Ren. I don't know why I rolled him so slowly, but it opened anyway. Another one I got from Haru Ren purely because I didn't have a Kubo. He had a Chaos one, but I got Darkus because I'm a Darkus boy and I want Darkus Kubo. That, and I had an Evo that I could use with it. Next up, warning if you are scared of creepy crawlies, we have Darkus Core Mantonite, one of the first Bakugan I ever had with a reroll effect. 200B, 6 punchy, nothing insane. Now from Battle Planet all the way to Legends, or at least I think this is Legends or Evolution, no, this is Legends, we have Simoga. This is the only Simoga I own, and that's literally the only reason I got this thing. Because as part of the 3 set with 3 Darkus Bakugan, it had a Simoga in it, I wanted a Simoga, and I will say I am very disappointed with that set of Bakugan. But you know what, I got a Simoga, so that's cool. Next, we got a Bakugan that I have proven can still be used very well in a deck profile I did recently with Illegal Bakugan. That is, whoops, that's the wrong Bakugan, you got a bit of a spoiler there. Darkus Nilius Ultra, 200B, 6 punchy, on an orange shield, plus 400. This thing can still get very good high numbers if you roll him enough and on the right course that you want. But I have made a deck profile using him in a very broken manner. You guys can see that video in the description or in the top corner. There might be something listed up there. Next, we got the Bakugan that was sort of spoiled to you guys because I took out the character card prematurely. That is a Fusion Bakugan I got from Haru Ren. I don't care if the stats were bad. I got it because I don't have a mold of this and I needed more fusions in my collection. Trox and Nobilius Ultra, 3 cost to energize, 3 energy, to fuse from 206 to a whopping 308. But on a green fist, plus 1,000. Okay, now on to the 300B Bakugan. We're going to start off with the first Darkus Bakugan I ever got for the reboot. It was in the first starter pack I ever owned. Say what you want about its stats, I don't care. This Bakugan is very sentimental to me, and that is Darkus Core Hydrus. 300B, 4 punchy, very mid Bakugan, but for the time, I loved this boy. Okay, enough being about sentimental. On to the next Bakugan. We got a Bakugan whose design I really like, the mold of anyway, and I still love Pegatrix no matter what mold it comes in or design or stats. It's just a really cool Bakugan to look at. And this one's stats are a testament to that. With only 300B and 4 punchy, not very powerful, I still like the toy. It looks great. Next, we got, sadly not the Fenneca I would prefer, Core Darkus Fenneca. This one I got from Haru Ren. Darkus Core Fenneca, 300B, 5 punchy, on a Fire Fist, pick up 500 extra punchy. He sold me this one before he was able to get his hands on a Darkus Ultra Fenneca. It wasn't out at the time of me buying it. I'm sure had it been released, I would have asked him if he could have sent me another one. Like, if he could have, I would have paid him the difference to get me an Ultra Darkus Fenneca. But yeah, I got this one instead. It's the only Core Fenneca I have. Okay, moving on to some Ultras now. Fair creepy crawly warning, we have another Mantis here. It is Mantonoid Ultra. Darkus Mantonoid Ultra, of course. 300B, 4 punchy. I did actually use this thing in a deck a long time ago, which just ramped up in, I think, damage or B. I can't remember how the deck functioned too well with this Evo, but again, not the strongest, but I tried to make it work just because I love Mantonoid's design. And I want all the Ultras, but I only have 2. No, I'm wrong. I have 3 actually. Next, we got a Bakugan that I have tried for the longest time to try and make work or good in some way. Oh, he stood actually perfectly that time. We have Darkus Bakugan Ultra, 300B, 1 punchy. Victor, your opponent discards a card. This thing is not strong by any means, but it's still a Black Knight, and I am the Prince of Darkus. Every prince needs a knight to help fight by his side or, protect the family. So yeah, while he might not be the strongest, his symbolism is very much ingrained into my heart, and I love it. Okay, next up we have the superior Holocore design, Ultra Darkus Holocore from Battle Planet. But only 300B, 2 punchy. I don't care, this thing's design is still superior in every way compared to every other Holocore we've had released since Battle Planet. If you can fight me on that, I don't care, this thing is better. In design anyway. Okay, onto the 400B Bakugan now. We're going to start off with the Bakugan I have 2 of, Core Darkus Fangzor. Ignore the fact that their purples are slightly different. This thing is a whopping 400B, 3 punchy with Shadow Strike, but this one and Ultra Fangzor, both, I love them. They were great Bakugan back in Battle Planet days to have in a Darkus deck. I think so anyway, and I still stand by that to this day. Alright, up next we got another Syndius, because I need more Black Knights in my army to help protect me, the Prince of Darkus. 400B, 4 punchy, this one and the Ultra one, it's debatable which one is better or worse. But if I had to pick one to use in a deck, it'd be this one, purely because of its Evo. I think it has higher B power for less cost. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I love the design of Syndius, always with its asymmetrical sword design. Next, we got a Bakugan that I used fairly often back in early Battle Planet days with some friends and online folk. That is Core Darkus Dragonoid, 400B, 4 punchy, Fire Fist's Orange Shield. Nothing crazy, although I think its Evo did have some good perks back in the day. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know I used this one a lot. Next, we got a Bakugan that I guarantee you won't be able to guess where I got it from. It was actually a Secret Santa gift from work. And you're never gonna guess who was the one to give me this Bakugan. It was my boss. I still love this Bakugan. 400B, 3 punchy, on a Fire Fist, plus 200, plus 3 punchy. Back in the day, this thing was still good. In early Battle Planet. I like it anyway, I still do, and I want to use it more often. Especially considering where I got it. Next up is the last Battle Planet Bakugan from these 400 boys. That is, whoops, he didn't quite go all the way there, Darkus Gortheon Ultra, 400B, 3 punchy, orange, and magic shield. I can't remember why I got this Bakugan specifically, but I only have one Ultra Gortheon now, and I'm glad it's the darkest one. Okay, moving on to the last 2 Bakugan in this lineup. It's from Armored Alliance. We have one of the best Cornelius designs, I think, ever, and it is a whopping 400B, 5 punchy. I still love this design for Nilius. I think it's probably the best Cornelius design, period. Lastly, from the 400 boys, I think we have my first ever Darkus Bakugan from Armored Alliance, actually. I'm pretty sure this was my first Armored Alliance Darkus Bakugan. Just like how, Thingamajig. Here, just like how Battle Planet Darkus Hydrus was my first Darkus Bakugan in the reboot. I think this one was my first Armored Alliance Darkus Bakugan. Either that or the Ultra variant, I can't remember which one, but I'm pretty sure it was one of the 2. Still not my favorite Bakugan though, but yeah. 400B, 5 punchy. Okay, now on to some 500B boys. We just had the Cornelius from Armored Alliance, and here we have the Cornelius from Battle Planet. I think you can see why I say that I have my hammer mouth. This Nilius is far superior to this one in terms of design, but this one is still a classic, and I still love it to bits. Yeah, 502. Moving on, we have a Bakugan that I bought from Haru Ren yet again. That is a... There we go, Darkus Gilitar Ultra. I bought this specifically because at the time I didn't have any Gilitars, and this is just one that he was selling. So 500B, 2 punchy, that's it, people. Alright, next we have another Bakugan I bought from Haru Ren. This one is probably my favorite Battle Planet mold Bakugan, primarily because it is Lupithion, which is a werewolf. And werewolves are my favorite horror movie monster, period. Well, at least they were for most of my life until like crawlers, Wendigo, Skinwalker, whatever you want to call that type of look, became my most recent favorite werewolf. So still second top. But yeah, I've just always wanted a Lupithion, and it was probably my favorite design out of the entirety of Battle Planet. I never had one. Haru Ren had one, he had one in Darkus, and he sold me this one along with a full set of Evos for this Bakugan. Thank you again, Haru, you're amazing, and I love this Bakugan. Not very strong, 500B, 5 punchy, but it's mine, and I love it to bits. Alright, enough being sentimental again. Next we have another Bakugan that I had in a deck, and this thing destroys, especially with its Evo. Darkus Tertonium Ultra, 500B, 3 punchy. This thing was a menace in the deck that I had anyway. This thing alone, I think with a team attack, I'm pretty sure I broke 45 damage at one point. I can't remember the exact combination, but I was floored at the fact that I was going over the deck limit with the amount of damage I had on this Bakugan at one point. I'll try to remember if I can like recreate that deck. But yeah, last one of the 500 boys coming up. Alright, next we got another Bakugan from Legends, you know, the sad, poor plastic, poor color palette Bakugan, Darkus Ryuzu from Legends, 500B on an orange shield, 500 plus 5 punchy. This thing can get up to 1400 and 9 punchy. Nothing insane, but the best Bakugan out of the lot that it came with, so I guess that's the one perk about it. That, and at the time, I did not have a Ryuzu, I don't think. Oh no, I did. I had Haru Ren's Ryuzu, but I wanted a Darkus one. I just didn't know the stats of it, and I couldn't look it up at the time because I was in Australia with no internet access. So yeah, I just bought it and I regret it. Alright, on to the 600V Bakugan now. Here we have my partner, my ace, my Bakugan that if I was in the anime, it would be my partner and my ace. Excuse all the extra silver paint that I've added onto it. My video for this will be in the pin in the corner as well. We have Darkus Core Barrel, 600B, 5 punchy, Helix, and Green Fist. It's not a very strong Bakugan, but I do not care. This thing fits my name, my aesthetic, everything perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. Speaking of matching my aesthetic, we have another royalty-themed Bakugan that is Darkus Hydrus Ultra around the lion, you know, the king of the pride and king of the jungle and whatever. 600B, 4 punchy, 4 punchy? Excuse me. 600B, 4 punchy. There we go. Nothing crazy. I just wanted this royalty, and it matched my vibe. And yet again with another royalty-themed Bakugan with Darkus Fangzor Ultra. Oop, he went flying off screen. This thing's footprint is massive. He's a tall boy. Fangzor Ultra, Magic Shield, Orange Shield, 1 punchy, 600, Shadow Strike. This thing and Core Fangzor, both really great Bakugan to have in a Darkus deck back in Battle Planet days. Alright, now a fan favorite Darkus Bakugan from Armored Alliance. We have Darkus Nilius Ultra with his broken ability to roll normally and still double core effectively. With an Orange Shield, Green Fist, 600, 3 punchy on an Orange Shield, pick up an extra 200 bait, and on Green Fist, pick up extra 2 damage. This thing is amazing. Next, we have another Bakugan I bought from Haru Ren. It is the Darkus Aquas Picatrix X Gilitar Fusion, 600B, 3 punchy, 5 to fuse. When it fuses, it becomes an 1100, 2 Frost Strike, 5 punchy monster. Alright, this is the final Bakugan from that Simoga and Ryuzu 3-pack. It is the Legends Darkus Ultra Enoch. I got this Bakugan specifically because I did not have an Enoch Ultra. I ended up getting another one later. Either that or the Ventus one came first, I can't remember. But again, I bought it because I wanted the 3 Darkus pack. I didn't know the stats and I regret buying it. I still do to this day. 700, 2 damage, double Green Fist on a Green Fist removal core. That's it, nothing crazy. Alright, next up we got a Bakugan I always land the spin roll with, and that is the Darkus Core Trox from Battle Planet. 700B, 1 punchy. Again, this Bakugan fits my aesthetic of royalty. It's a T-Rex, the king tyrant dinosaur. You see it all the time as being portrayed as the king of all dinosaurs. Okay, I love it to bits. It's cool. Evolution was decent at the time, I think. I can't remember too well. I like it. Okay, this Bakugan here is my favorite out of these 700B boys. It is the Darkus Bakugan Ultra from Armor Alliance. 700B, 2 punchy, orange shield, and green fist. I think at the time this was one of my favorite, or strongest rather, Darkus Bakugan at the time, that fit my aesthetic of royalty and whatever. And it also came with a gear, of course. Excuse me. This way, put the gear on wrong. This way with this little, these thingies, these little booster cannon rocket thingies. I forget what the hell this gear is called. Yeah, I came with that in a pack with the Pyrus Pegatrix, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's a cool boy. Alright, we're in the home stretch, just a few more. Next up, we have what was probably at that time one of the best Darkus Bakugan to get in Battle Planet. Darkus Hydrus Ultra. Design in the toy, horrific. I don't like it. The stats on this one were good for the time, really good. 800B, ability to double core as well. Only 1 damage, there's a drawback there, but if you manage to land on both these cores, the Fire Fist and the Green Fist, you get extra damage. Or you get a Magic Shield and then the Fire Fist as well, you get both effects. High B and good damage. Not bad at all. Next up, we got a Bakugan which, I'll be honest, I can't remember why exactly I got it, but I'm not upset that I got it. It is Darkus Villock Core 800B, 2 punchy, Fire Fist, and Green Fist. The accents with gray are really nice, especially on Darkus. This is why I say that Geogon Rising was the best in terms of Bakugan toy design. With the colors and everything, it just popped so much better than the other ones. And my point is proven with the very next Bakugan being Darkus Core Blitzfox from Evolutions, the very next line. 800B, 5 punchy, double magic shield. Great stats, great core selection. Toy design, I am not the biggest fan. Like the subtle, I guess, green on the ears and paws are alright, but I would much preferred if they stuck to the same color palette as they did with, excuse me for knocking the camera. I would have much rather they stuck with the very harsh black and bright green that the other Bakugan had with the purple. The purple here is fine, I guess, but I prefer the purple here with the green and the gray, opposed to this dull everything. Even the black is dull. But yeah, good stats. Not good toy. I don't like the colors. Moving on. Okay, we're on to 900B Bakugan now. Very, very high B power boys. First up, we have another Geogon Bakugan. Probably one of my favorite Geogon Ultras I own. Darkus Ultra Dragonoid from Geogon Rising. Like I said, 900B, 2 damage, Green Fist, Orange Fist. Not great cores, not the highest B. Not the highest punchy, but high B power. Managed to swap out or borrow cores from other people, you could get some high numbers, I suppose. Up next, we have a Bakugan that I got while I was on vacation in Australia in I think it was a battle pack or something. It came with Pyrus Core Feral as well, from Legends. We got, Evolutions, excuse me. We got the Darkus Neo Dragonoid, 900B, 2 punchy, double orange shield. I could probably use this and the Drago I just showed you in a mono Darkus Drago deck in the future, but its stats are not the best because it doesn't have much core manipulation, but it's just got high B power, and that's all it's got going for it, really. Okay, the next one I'm about to show you guys is technically 2 Bakugan. One is Darkus, one is an honorable mention. You'll understand in a second. So this one is a Bakugan that my girlfriend got me for my birthday back in February. My birthday is 14th of February for those wondering. It is Darkus Sectonoid, 900B, 200 on a Green Fist, 1 punchy. This is a Bakugan that comes in the Darkus Sectonoid tin with one other mystery Bakugan. I've always wanted the Darkus Sectonoid because of its high B power, mainly that's the only reason. But it did come with one other Bakugan, and that is this Aquas Enoch Ultra, which I did not include in my Aquas collection video because I got this after I had posted that video and recorded everything for that video. So this wasn't included there, but I'm including it now. 900B, 1 damage, the same stats as the Sectonoid, which I think is just funny. And again, I I go back to Geogun Rising and I explain again that the designs from Geogun Rising were the best. The little subtle blacks on the arms and the head just bring out all the little bit more detail. Why couldn't we stick with this? Alright, these last few aren't really Bakugan, they are Geogun and Nanos. So we got Darkus Arachnia. It's just a cheap 2 energy, high B power, Shadow Strike, Victor Scan, cool spider dude. I wanted a Darkus Geogun. This was the best one I could find at the time, and I still love it to bits. Next, we have a very, very, very expensive Diamond Monstropod. I say expensive in terms of this, not the cost of the toy. It's a 6 energy, 2400 beat stick with 8 damage and a Victor effect of a team attack. So this thing's gonna hit heavy damage if you use this in the middle of the game or at the end of the game, where you've got something else open to give high extra numbers to. Alright, the next 2 Bakugan aren't really Bakugan, they are Nanogan. If you know, you know. These ones come with specific Bakugan. Why is the camera out of focus? There we go. These come with specific Bakugan, so if you know what these come with, you'll know what's coming soon in the channel's life. And then lastly, this isn't really a Darkus Bakugan, but it's a Darkus Bakugan in spirit. It is the Diamond Milius from G3. I don't like to talk about G3, so let's just get that away from the camera. Oh wait, side note, before we get this thing off the camera, the design of this is very stupid, because me, when I first got it, I almost broke it trying to close it. Why is the hook? It folds in, and it's so hard to see for the first time if you don't know what you're doing. Like, really? What was this design, Spin Master? No! And so, that is my Darkus collection. I'm very proud of it. There are quite a few Bakugan that I wish I had, which I don't have, which I might have in the near future, and there are Bakugan that you have yet to see from my Darkus collection, but those are ones we'll get into for another video. Also, ignore the fact that I look very different to the start of this video. I realized halfway through editing that I forgot to record an outro. So here we are, here it is. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far, please comment down below your favorite Darkus Bakugan, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.